Chapter 3. Come and Find Me. In God, there is no hunger that needs to be filled, only plenteousness that desires to give. By C.S. Lewis, The Four Loves. It's not good for the man to be alone. From Genesis 2:18. Part of being human, as we have already discovered from the Catechism, is that we are able to enter into communion with other people and with God. We aren't meant to live alone or in isolation. God created us in and for relationship and communion. This simple truth is why you want your family to be happy. It is why you want your marriage or your parents' marriage to be peaceful and full of love. It's also why it hurts so much when friends and family die, betray you, leave you, or do something together without telling you about it. So often, we try to deny the pain of being left out or abandoned, but it cuts deeply into who we are as human beings. For those who are incarcerated, one of the most one of the worst punishments given out by prison guards is solitary confinement, in which the prisoner is left alone and without any human interaction for 23 hours a day. We need other people, and it is in giving ourselves to others as a gift and receiving others as a gift that we find out what it means to be human. During my third year of playing Division 1 college volleyball, I developed a knee injury that required surgery. It was a daunting task just to board on an airplane a few days after the operation. And then I had to retrain my leg muscles to function together again efficiently. The athletic trainer who worked with me for months after the surgery won a place deep in my heart for her selfless kindness during that time. She knew that physical rehabilitation would be painful, so she accompanied me throughout the entire process. She led me through workouts, helped me get stronger in the weight room, tended to my physical pain in the middle of the night while we were on team road trips, and never complained about all the extra time she had to spend working with me. I truly needed her help during the time in my life. I couldn't rehabilitate myself on my own, and she gave me the gift of herself in service, teaching me what it meant to be diligent and consistent. My life is surely better because of that wonderful, generous woman. Communion and relationship speak to us on the deepest levels. The relationship we have on earth are supposed to reflect the deep love and care that God has for us. The intimacy we experience with one another is a small spark of the intimacy of God desires to have with us. In music and art, we hear and see countless works that celebrate love or mourn the loss of love. Even in the genre of classical music, I can hear the swells and strains of love. Many times as I listen to the works of Chopin or Rachmaninoff, Rachmaninoff, I sit in stunned silence over the beauty that is pouring into my heart. The harmonies and melodies shine in loving communion with one another. Whether it be expressed through modern music or medieval art, relationship and communion are clearly the language of the heart. So it is natural when our relationships are happy and fulfilling. We are usually happy and fulfilled. When they are disordered and broken, we often reflect that same unhappiness. In our hearts, we desire love that is authentic and ordered. We desire to be found and embraced by the one we love. I have a dear friend who has always been an incredible witness to me of maturity and fullness of life. From the very first moment I met him, I sensed grace, which is the very life of God and the human soul, emanating from him. He and his wife and children have a beautiful ministry to teenagers, and they share their love and life with everyone they meet. This man often tells a story from when his children were very young. He had taken three of them to a park to play hide and seek and was counting out loud while the kids found a place to hide. My friend laughs when he tells the story because when it was time for him to seek, his two little boys were hiding in plain view under the jungle gym. His daughter wasn't too far away and they were all giggling, playing along with them. My friend pretended not to see the kids and, in a roundabout way, began his search for them. As he drew closer and closer to their location, he suddenly jumped in front of them and shouted, "I see you!" His boys took off running so they wouldn't get tagged. But his daughter looked at him, jumped into his arms, and said, "Hold me, Daddy," for a long, long time. My friend reminisces that while his little girl didn't quite get hide and seek, she got the most important lesson of all, that we all want to be sought after, found, and held by the perfect Father who is God. Jesus speaks to this yearning for union and intimacy when he talks to the crowds about marriage. After speaking about the provision for divorce Moses made in the law, Jesus says to the crowd, "From the beginning it was not so." Matthew 19:8. These few words reveal something very rich. Pope John Paul II wrote extensively on this discourse from the Gospel of Matthew in his work on the theology of the body. The Holy Father beautifully illumines the profound relationship that existed between Adam and Eve in the garden before the original sin, before the fall of man.